Okay, we're going to give this new rear rack a try tonight. I put it together, well, I got it in the mail this morning, but throughout the day, taking breaks because it was hot as hell, I put a little bit together throughout the day and got it all together. It's pretty decent putting it together. This bag did not come with it. The net did. I'm also trying this. This bag is just a tool bag that you can get. You know, the Hyper Tough tool bags you can get at Walmart. I used to use it for tools. Now it's got the exact same amount of fishing equipment that I had in a backpack on my other one. So I'm going to test it out tonight with the net that they supply. It's pretty good. I mean, the hooks and stuff were pretty good. I checked them to make sure they were on there really well. But what I liked about it is the quick connects. Not that, you know, I ever plan on taking it off. The whole point was to buy one that was better than the one I had. But I do like that it is removable. But I put the rubber shims in, and I was luckily enough that the rod goes up in far enough. It goes way up in here, actually, way up about here. So the anchor is solid. I mean, this moves the bike. Everywhere you touch it and try to shake it, it moves the whole bike. And it comes with rubber shims here. I don't know the diameter of my tube. It is bigger than a Walmart, that's for sure. But they have enough shims. They give you enough rubber shims where, oh my God, you can make a garden hose. But wait for that truck to go by there a little bit. But these spring clamps work really well. You were able to really cinch them in there pretty good and tight. And everything is rock solid. I did make a couple modifications. They give you enough of the little rubber strips that go inside the connections. They give you so many that you have extra. So what I did is I wrapped this tube with the extra little bit and then put black tape to secure it. This one I happened to put a zip tie on the top and forgot the bottom one. But just for extra security, I'll put another one there. But yeah, just because this rod and this rod do touch, oddly enough, maybe you know, see how it moves. So I just got a little bit of that rubber, extra rubber that you have that's in between here. They give you a bunch, so I just wrapped it around this tube, so when you ride, you don't hear metal touching metal, just to get rid of that sound. But the hooks, they're okay. I mean, you're only holding a bag down. This bag doesn't weigh nothing. Everything in there is plastic. I got an extra pair of gloves, warm gloves. That's the only thing in there that's not fishing. It came with this fender and everything on it except for the bag came on it. The hardware, even the little wrench, which I put in my front pack just in case something did come loose. If anything, I'm expecting this to eventually bang loose. But everything is super, super tight right now. I couldn't get it any more hand tight without feeling it was going to strip out something. So this is the test without putting any Loctite or anything, just right out of the bag. But this fender, I did modify a little bit because there's only one point of connection, which is right there. There's a screw that goes right up through that. Oops, right there. There's a screw that goes right up through the middle of that and goes into the tube right there. And that's it. There's nothing connecting it the rest of the way out. So what I did is I put 2 zip ties. Maybe it's better on this guy. I guess it's just too dark. Huh. But anyway, I took 2 zip ties and ran it around the tube up there and around the fender, and then put two more. Yeah, there, now you can see it. There we go, there we go, there we go. Those zip ties go up around the upper tube there. And then one on one side of the mount for this up here, the bracket. One's on one side, one's on this side, and one's on the front side. So it can't slide forward or back. And then to keep the fender itself centered, I took two more zip ties from the frame to those on each side and pulled them until this was in the center of the tire and locked it in. But that's the only modification I did to it, just because it only had one screw holding the whole thing right there at this end of it, one screw going in, so that just went like this, and I didn't like that. So that so far is the only negative about it, is they could have designed that a little better somehow. And I don't know, if you push this all the way back, this will go all the way back to the end. This upper slide, you have two screws, screw right there. That's what anchors the whole rig on this tube. It'll slide forward and back, so you can get your adjustments for this. Well, I had to slide it in enough where I wanted at least an inch here, but you can slide this whole thing anywhere you want it, up and down that tube to fit a bike. But I wanted the lowest point, down here where the heel and everything is, so all the force was down here where it should be, not halfway up here. Just, I don't know, just to me it seemed stronger, but we'll see, because it's more of a straight up and down angle, But tonight will be the test. I'm only gonna ride for about maybe an hour. I don't know. I got at least an hour of daylight, but we'll give her a whirl. I'll take it on some dirt roads. Right now, just coming over here, the edge of the roads, it's nothing but bump, 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 frost heaves. So it's already had a good workout getting over here. The 2 miles I've ridden. I just want to get out of town, less traffic. But okay, here we go. We're gonna give her a whirl, and I'll post the brand name in the description of the down below there, if you're interested in it. Should also be in the title if I can fit it. I don't know, we'll see. But I think it's rated for, if I remember right, 30, or it says 66. Wait, let me get that right. Yeah, 66 pounds. It's what it's rated for. But I don't think I would do that. But anyway, we're gonna give her a whirl tonight and see how she runs. As far as riding, I don't feel the difference in how the bike handles with that being on it. I mean, it's anchored down pretty hard, so it's, almost as rigid as anything else on the bike, so. But it doesn't make the front end floppy and sloppy. It doesn't add any weight that way. Putting it together was relatively easy. Anybody could do it. I mean, a young teenager with a little bit of common sense, who's into biking, could easily do it. The directions are really, really vague. You know, it's like, I think the best way to describe the directions are like Google Map directions. If you flip it up and you read the directions on how to get somewhere, very basic wording, but a picture. And the picture is the complete job of whatever you have to do. So you have to look at the picture and a brief description of put this here. So, but it's common sense, you know. You could just look at it without it and put it together. It's really just that simple. A few extra parts. I got an extra set of nuts and bolts. Not a whole set, just one extra. And a bunch of rubber sleeves, so you can make it fit a lot of different size bars, especially the low end. Ooh, hear those bumps? You can hear the tackle rattling now and then when I hit a bigger bump, like that one. I wanted to put a little bit of weight down force on the ride, but I didn't want to overdo it right away. Give it a really good test on these roads. I'm just going to coast it out so we can keep it in low gear. I'm in no hurry to get anywhere. It's nice now. I mean, compared to what it's been all day. Hot July weather. This is the one chunk of dirt section we're going to give it a try on right up here. All right, now let's give it a whirl on some dirt road. Oh boy, this is a bubbly. I'm glad this is only, I think it's maybe a mile, a little less, but it's a pretty rough road. It doesn't get used a lot. It's more of a cutover road. Most people just go down the paved road a little further and take a left and come back out where this ends up anyway. Stay on the pavement. Ugh. I was going to completely stay right off of dirt roads, but tomorrow I'm going to wash this whole bike and I'll just re-lube the chain again anyway. Poor guy mowing the lawn. I bet the mosquitoes are driving him crazy. Whoa, loose sand. Oh my, that stuff will throw you everywhere. You can almost see how humid it is, especially with the sun down right now. Well, as far as noise, I can hear what I have on the rack back there, but I'm not hearing any squeaks or metal on metal squeaks or anything like that. This bike itself is pretty solidly quiet. There's no rattles or anything on the bike. So if I heard anything, it would be from it. And the only thing I can hear is the fishing tackle rattling inside the plastic case. Tonight's test is more of a test on the durability of the anchor points, where one rod slides up into the other so you can adjust it for your down support. But I wanted to do a short ride tonight and ride on everything that I would ride if I was going to take a long trip to go fishing for the day, you know, to the fishing hole and back. I ride on this kind of stuff and pavement, everything, trails through the woods. So I got to put it to the test before I get out there and try it. I'm lucky enough to have bumpy, shitty roads right in my neighborhood. When we get to the end of this road, we'll dismount and take a look at it and see if anything is slid around. We're going to come up on our stop here, so okay, we'll stop here and we'll do a little check it over real quick. Be right back. Alright, so far we've taken it on a paved road with crappy pavement And this dirt road right here, and this is a lot of washboard, what we call washboard here. Just da, 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 da. It's a lot of that. And none of these supports have moved at all. None of the screws come loose. Everything is still tight. Now, granted, I've only gone about 2.9 miles, so not quite 3 miles, but I'm going on, not rough conditions, but rough enough where you should see some kind of, even the net isn't moved. I made it purposely right along this zipper line, and it looks like come up a little bit right there, and I might have done that screwing around just now, but everything seems to be stable. So we're going to continue on the next road, which is going to be my sound checking road, because it's probably the smoothest road we're going to ride on now. And we'll see how it does on that. We'll be right back. Okay. Our third road is more of a highway. This is a 60-mile-an-hour highway. I don't know how long we're going to have this shoulder, but I'm primarily using this road for noise. I want to hear what it sounds like back there. What I mean by that, and like, it brings to mind, oh, we might get a little wet here. Nice. Or let the traffic go by. Hold on. It brings to mind when I was a little kid. My dad, he was a big-time adventurer. He liked to pack up the car and the kids and take off. Me and my brother just take off, go places, even if it was just for a day. Well, one day he decided to buy a luggage rack, put on the station wagon so we could pack and go longer. We took a trip across the United States from Massachusetts to California to see my aunt in Sacramento. That roof rack howled at us the whole damn way. Unbelievable. Drove my dad nuts. We tried stuffing stuff in it, all kinds of crap. Didn't do it all the time and only did it on certain winds. So I shouldn't say it did it the whole way, but it did it the whole way there, it just didn't do it all the time. Depending on which way the wind was coming, but holy crap. It was so funny. We were little kids, 6, 7, 8 years old, shit like that, I don't know. So we were giggling in the background, in the back of the station wagon every time that happened. And singing along with it, just driving my old man nuts. So that's what I mean by road noise when you're going down the road. You hear any whistles and screw holes, or, how quiet is it? How good did they make it? Yeah, I'll never forget that. That's one of my favorite stories to tell about my dad. It takes a little while to go from Massachusetts to California. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah. So I learned about product noise and figuring out ways to avoid it right from the get-go. Like I said in the intro video where I put the rubber between the two pieces of metal, knowing that it's going to clatter and squeak metal on metal. So I just took a little bit of the extra rubber sleeves that they give you for the mounting brackets. Just wrap them around the pipes so they'd be rubber touching instead of metal. Worked really good. A lot of traffic out tonight. Won't be much longer, we'll be off of this. Obviously our sound test isn't going to do very well on this one. The next road is way more peaceful. Just not as smooth of a road. Okay, let's do a quick out of breath follow up. We rode, let's see, 5.7 miles, so almost 6 miles, and looks like everything stayed, nothing shifted. These are still solid. There's nothing moving there. That stayed centered. My little rig worked with the, oh, now you can see my little rigging, how I did the bungees, or not bungees, but zip ties. I ran them up over the tube on the front and back of the bracket up on top there, and then ran it around the fender just to hold it up a little. It doesn't pull it up at all, it just holds it stable. And then I took the two on the sides, wrapped it around it and around the outer poles, and I pulled them until I got the fender in the exact center location of the bike and the tire. And now it's, so that way, because it only had one center point connection right there, right there, you can see the, right there, you can see the screw. That screw goes right up and into the tube through the fender, and it would move, you know, and I didn't like it, so I made my own little rigging to keep it in the center. Lightweight, it worked, but everything seemed to stay in place. The hooks didn't bounce around. They're all attached still. The load stayed pretty much center. I mean, it's tight, but it's not like, you know, super tight. So it could shift around a little bit if it got real rugged on it. But let's check the other bracket. Yeah, this one didn't move either. Not at all. Solid as hell. The whole bike is moved. Nothing moved. This stayed closed. That stayed closed. Yeah, everything's good. This one stayed closed. Yeah. One thing I will say, if you get one of these, I got really, really lucky that you can see where my cable comes down, and it goes right into this union, and then it hooks into the black casing, and then the casing comes around down to the shifter derailleur. But I got lucky that everything fit because of the height of this screw and the arch of this clamp, that when I close it tight, this cable is actually just, it's more like just a loop, a guide that guides that cable through it. It's not tight, it's not pinching it, not nothing. It doesn't do anything different to it. So I got lucky there, but keep that in mind if you buy this and you got cables. Because of your shifter, this type of clamp system, it might not work for you. I got really lucky that there was just enough space, as you can see, to get right down here in the heel. I want it to be able to transfer all the weight on these two right here, and it pretty much does. So I got lucky. The other side doesn't have any problem, of course, because there's no cables, but keep in mind, if you buy this, you might have that as an issue. But anyway, all in all, it didn't throw my balance out. I mean, it will when you stop, of course, because it's top heavy. You got to take that in mind. When you step off your bike, step wide. Don't just step down. You know, step a little wider and lean the bike over so you're more stable. Because even that little bit of weight, there's not a lot of weight here. I probably, like I said, maybe 5-6 pounds of fishing tackle, maybe. And it's rated for 66. And I will say again, I guarantee I won't go that heavy. The most I'll ever have on it is this and a sleeping bag and a tent. And the sleeping bag and a tent is probably going to weigh less than what I got on it right now. So, yeah, I like it so far. I just wanted to do a quick little 5-mile test and give it some rough terrain and some smooth pavement. It's really quiet, doesn't whistle in the wind or anything like that. You know, it doesn't, that itself does not rattle anywhere. The only thing it rattled was the fishing tackle inside the plastic boxes in there. I could hear that now and then. But going down any kind of gravel where the fishing tackle wasn't making noise, it was not making noise. Even the fender wasn't bouncing around. I really wanted to pay attention to that. But it's stable where it doesn't really bounce around anyway. And because of the way I got it suspended, I don't think it's going to make a lot of noise. There's nothing for it to bounce against. So, yeah, so far I recommend it. I'll put the name. I might even post a link if YouTube will let me do that. I don't know if they will. I'll post the Amazon link. But that's where I got it. Check them out. I think it was right around 40 or 50 bucks, somewhere in there. Something like that. But anyway, pretty cool stuff.